What's up, you sons of bitches? Can you guys hear me and see me? You got me 5x5? Let's check out the comments. Alright, well, we're up to like 14 guys watching. As soon as I went live 5 minutes ago, it went down to 2. So, and if you check on our, well, I don't know if you guys can see our subscriber count, but YouTube is unsubbing people to the tune of 1 to 300 people a day from my channel. So I don't know what's going on with that. It is what it is. What are you going to do? All right, now, you guys are basically, the inner sanctum here. So, I was going to be doing a couple videos this week in regards to the whole go broke or get woke, go broke bullshit. Because it really is happening, number one. Number two, sooner or later, this whole craziness, the pendulum went over to the left, and then one day, hopefully soon, it's going to come back to the right. And we need to make sure that we never forget those companies out there that turned their back on America, financed its fucking enemies, okay, and basically shit all over the population of this country. Quite literally, we need to boycott them into basically oblivion. All right, so the first one I have here is this. All right, now remember when they were the cancel culture came out and they went after all of the cultural appropriation names out there for the sports teams. And some of those teams actually knuckled under and changed their names. This one here is from Ohio, the Cleveland Indians. And look at this. They bowed to the woke mob and renamed themselves Guardians, and nobody wants to go to their games. Now, this is from Not the Bee. So, I don't know if this is actually true or not, but it seemed pretty interesting to me. I don't know. We could do the legwork here in regards to what's going on here, but I don't know. This looked pretty interesting to me when I saw it. They changed their name to the Guardians, and local TV ratings, newly Christian Guardians, have dropped dramatically, with one report placing the number at negative 30%. All right, so not only are they getting hit on their ratings for what they televise, but they're also getting slammed at the box office because ticket sales are down roughly, 15% as well. So, it's not a good deal. All right, here we go. In 2019, before the pandemic craziness, they were averaging 21,465 fans per game. This year, the average has fallen to 15,025. All right, so overall, it's a 6.5% down in ticket sales, and and they're saying other attendance from Cleveland franchises plummeted 30% from 2019. And they're basically saying, give it enough time, they're going to have to start renting out their stadium to runners and joggers to make a buck. Isn't that interesting? I think that's interesting, because we have a whole bunch of shit like this starting to happen. And you're not going to see this in the mainstream media. Okay, I'm a numbers guy, so I always look at the TV ratings, dollars paid, debt to income ratio. There's, payouts, like for instance, the amount of individuals who have received life insurance payouts has skyrocketed to to historic levels, meaning that even when there was World War One and World War Two and the Korean War, and then they had the flu pandemic of World War One, they haven't paid out as much life insurance payments as they have in the past 2 years. And I wonder why that could be. I don't know. Who am I? It is what it is. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. Best insight to Woke or Broke topic you had, Pop, was that we don't boycott things, we quit and end them. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Boycotting, I stand corrected. Boycotting means you will keep doing it until they change their behavior. If what they have done was so reprehensible, it's time to just fucking quit them and run them out of business. And I totally am behind you on that. Let's see. Burn Black Rock to the ground. Yep. The movie Major League was way better than real baseball. Yeah, baseball's boring. I just can't watch it. Ooh, Cowboy 4572. My dad is in his 80s and a lifelong baseball fan, and the woke horseshit broke him of watching baseball. Yep. Now listen, I don't know how baseball is going to recover. Because even before the whole pandemic thing, it was, baseball was suffering to get fans' asses in seats and eyeballs to watch it. And now it's all gone woke and stupid. Forget it. Yeah. John O. I haven't watched football since the piece of shit Kaepernick started kneeling. Correct. It should be called the Cleveland Steamers. How about the San Francisco 69ers? Yeah, we'll get to them. That would be an epic franchise. The Cleveland Guardians are getting the Cleveland Steamer. Yep. K-Camera. All pro sports can fade away for all I care. Yeah, I see. I mean, I'm still a fan of like kickboxing, boxing, MMA, judo, combat sports. So I'm cool with that. But to be honest, like soccer, nah. Professional football, nah. Once they start paying those dudes millions of dollars, they no longer care about the game. They just want to get paid, and it just loses it for me. So typically, I'll watch college football long before I will ever turn on a professional football game. Occasionally, I'll put on the Super Bowl, mainly just to listen for the commercials. Other than that, professional sports, in my opinion, can eat a dick. But hey, what do I know? Let's see. Pro football is the only pro sport I used to watch. Quit in 2015 when Love Smith, Mr. Character Matters, took a rapist in the first pick in the draft. Yep. Yeah, not really a big fan of hot dog eating contest or any eating contest for that matter. Let's see. Can you do a supporter video solely on the side effects and damage done by the poke and smoke, facts, data, death rate? Let's see what an even is. All right. Yeah, I'm actually going to do that, except it's going to have to be an exclusive alt tech thing. Because I do have YouTube peeking into even the supporter streams and the unlisted streams and giving us no end of hell on this platform here. It's just easier for me to do it, to do the supporter streams on YouTube for Blake and the rest of the crew we have. It is what it is. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I have to go over here on the poke and smoke, and it's not pretty. I would watch a lecture on feminist social theory before I watched pro sports. All right, Crusader Nate, tell us how you really feel. All right, what's the next one here? All right, so we've all encountered, or we've all heard about the monkeypox. Hopefully, you have not encountered the monkeypox, because I've heard it is not necessarily lethal, but is exceptionally brutal to the area of your body where it decides it's going to pock up at. Okay, and this one here is from the Babylon Bee. You're going to love this one here. CDC declares gay orgies an essential activity. Dated July 19th, 2022. Babylon Bee. You guys can look this up for yourself. All right, so non-essential versus essential. Riots, dining at a French laundry, gay orgies. Okay, non-essentials are going to church, going to work, having a party, funeral for grandma, going outside. This is how much we have we've lost the narrative for the time being to the woke left. And they're out of their fucking minds. All right. Now, one of the main reasons, and now this is just theory, rumor, and conjecture, allegedly on my behalf. All right. So it's already out there that the poke and, the koof, the Chinese cha-cha that we all were dealing with in 2019, 2020, was indeed crisped, meaning that parts of foreign DNA were added to the poke and, actually the Chinese cha-cha virus, or the koof, whatever you want to call it. And that was done. And they also were working on smallpox, monkeypox, measles, was it Marcella, typhoid, cholera, and there's two other ones on the list I saw. I can't remember them. But my ESP is telling me that either just before 2022 or maybe a year before 2024, one of these new novel viruses, because they've been tweaked, is going to get released into the world population, and there will be all kinds of craziness that will ensue. And of course, there's also, now I've heard these rumors for decades here. And these rumors are as follows. We here in the United States, when we were building chemical, nuclear, and biological weapons, when we were involved in the Cold War, we ourselves produced stockpiles of said biological weapons. And if you think that those stockpiles have been forgotten about or flushed down the toilet or destroyed, you're out of your fucking mind. All right? Listen, we might not nuke each other because nukes will pretty much ruin the earth for everyone. But a pathogen that's been geared to affect certain genetic populations, that could happen. And they were talking about this 3 decades ago. All right. Here we are in 2022. And the whole, Chinese checkers that got cooked up. I believe that was released by mistake, in my opinion, because it was not anywhere near weapons grade. It was enough to become a little more lethal than the flu for compromised people and people who are fat and what have you, have comorbidities. All right, now just imagine what will happen if they actually release a reworked bug from the past that was lethal on a regular basis. I mean, we're talking anything more than 10, 20% lethality would be absolutely devastating if released into the wild, meaning, to the general population out there. Basically, a pathogen with a 15 to 20% fatality rate. That 20% goes way up when it's, when you're older or when you're old and you get infected with something like that. Unless it can be treated with antibiotics, you're fucked. I'm just going to say, you're fucked. All right, so now we have the CDC, which, in my opinion, sold out along with the WHO. They're out of their fucking mind. Okay, certain things are sacred, constitutional rights that the government cannot forbid you from doing. Things like massive group sex with other gay people. This is what America's all about. It's worth the risk, right? Uh-huh. Oh my God. And this would not be the first time we've had gays and bisexual men spread various other illnesses. They seem to be really good at doing that. Why that is, I can guess, but it has a lot to do with heathenistic behavior that's unrestrained. And you top that off with both parties that don't care, and you're going to wind up with the butt pox. You can see the bullseye right there because it's got the chancres all around it. I'm such an asshole. All right, let's see what we got going on here. I got to keep up on the comments. Key camera, parts. Not a butt pirate, so not really worried about monkeypox. Yeah, you're right. You should, if you're not worried about that, if you don't partake in that type of menu, for the most part, yeah, you don't have anything to worry about. But if this is not curtailed and they continue to do what they're doing, historically speaking, the bisexual community will, whatever disease is going around in the gay community goes to them, and then they bring it home to the ladies, and then normal dudes visit these ladies, and it just goes right down the list. So a year from now, you could be getting the pox from hitting poon. Who knows? Yeah, what? No anthrax? Yeah, the anthrax was not on that list that I saw of other pathogens that were getting fucked with for whatever reason. And I think it's because, quite frankly, we did have Gulf War I and the redo. And one of the big pushes during those, two conflicts was the anthrax vaccine. I was given quite a few shots of that. Hated it. Hurt like fuck. And to this day, when I go to the VA, I have to fill out a questionnaire in regards to any symptoms that I might be having. And a lot of those symptoms are blamed on the anthrax vaccine. So I don't know why the anthrax was not on that list. I assume, making an educated guess, that is why. Okay, because, you know, they're going to invest billions or trillions of dollars to make something that works, all right? And then 10 to 15 years prior to this big investment, you had other countries working on, you know, the anthrax vaccines and treatments. So, yeah, they're like, okay, well, that one was just studied, so that's a huge waste of money. We'll throw that to the side. Let's work on something that's older, and we'll just, you know, breathe new life into it and let it go, in my opinion. Show Megas explain that. Never been a butt pirate and been a monk since spring of 19. Riggs Jr. All right. That's a Crusader Knight. A handy from Amy while she wears a latex glove to protect Pop. Man, get the hell out of here. Cowboy 4572 Actual War. War on farmers. War on the power grid. Bioweps. What could go wrong? Yep. Biological weapons, right? What could go wrong? So Crusader Nate, all of those stockpiles are still at Fort Meade. Yeah, some are still there at Fort Meade. But you know, I do know in the late 90s, a lot of that NBC stuff that was stored was, you know, taken for basically destruction. When I was at Fort Lewis, I got stuck guarding the ASP, and there were 4 bunkers full of, you know, NBC rounds. And the 2 weeks I was there pulling guard, we got somewhere in the neighborhood of like 18 to 22 trucks show up, and they were loading that stuff on there to go get incinerated. So I don't know exactly what's still around in massive amounts. I'm pretty sure the chemical warfare stuff, for the most part, has been destroyed, and the biological stuff is probably freeze dried in a freezer somewhere, waiting for it to be used sometime down the road. Yeah, I don't have a lot of visibility on where that stuff is being stored nowadays. So, let's see what we got here. Some of them. Let's see. K camera. I assume there are some of those down the road from here at Abbott Labs and out in Hamilton, MT, at the lab there. Yeah, probably. Dirty old leg, weapons grade bio. Yep. And typically, what they mean by weapons grade is they will take the biological pathogen and they will attach it to something that will allow it to be aerosolized and not have it killed in the air. And then that's usually how that works. Once they add whatever chemical that is to it, then it's weaponized. Let's see what we got here. No, I'm not messing with Amy Horton, thank you. Okay, Crusader, the samples at Fort Meade are kept for genetic markers so they know the point of origin so they can trace where it came from. Yeah, in theory, they should be able to do that, but the anthrax that was used for the anthrax attack after 9/11, they do have the DNA markers on that, and to date, they have yet to find out exactly who did the attack. Maybe there's information out there I don't know about. If there is, send it to me, please, so I can get up to speed. Let's see, K-Camera. Taken for destruction, kind of like police departments destroy all of the guns they confiscate, and none of the nicer ones would ever get reallocated. Yeah, they do, actually. There's a lot of police departments that take the good weapons and they put them in their own inventory. I've seen that. Okay, hey, is the Senate going to say no to assault rifles? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Yeah, I don't trust them either. Yeah, John O, the AR-10 is 33% less dangerous than the AR-15 because it's 5 ARs less. I love that. I like it. That's pretty funny. What's the next one here? Here we go. Now this one here, again, Babylon Bee. All right. Now this is disgusting here. All right. So we have sneaky parents dress son up as a girl on first day of school so teachers will show him how to be a boy. That doesn't seem right to me, does it? Does it seem right to you? Because it looks kind of creepy here, like Portland, Oregon. Local parents Cindy and Bob Connors have devised a clever plan to protect their son from gender indoctrination at school. During the first week, they are dressing up their 7-year-old son as a girl so that teachers will encourage him to challenge gender stereotypes and act like a boy. That is stupid. All right, it says here you got to play 4D chess with these teachers. And I'm hoping this trick will ensure our son is still a son at the end of the school year. If you are that afraid that crazy shit is going to happen to your children, homeschool them. Do not send them to the public schools. All right, sources say thousands of parents around the country are employing tricks to protect their impressionable youngsters from gender indoctrination and grooming, including cross-dressing their kids, attaching microphones to listen in on student-teacher conversations, and even homeschooling. They should homeschool. Period. Sending kids to school these days is like throwing chum to a frenzy of hungry sharks. They don't even learn math and reading anymore. Now what I think about it, we're all even still doing the school thing. I forget. Yep. That's what we got going on here. All right. Taken for destruction, kind of. All right. We already read that one. Now that is the lie because they will not do it. They will make him a furry. I hope not. Oh, parents are rainbow mafia. Yep. Yeah, Crusader Knight, I am just waiting for the license to be parents. We need a license for businesses and other this. Just wait, it's coming. Yep. Tom Davis, we need the E4 Mafia teaching in schools. I've seen the E4 Mafia do some great things, and then I've seen them do some fucked up shit. Mostly, they do more fucked up shit. Remember the good old days when Babylon Bee was satire? Now it's reality, or reality in 6 to 30 days. Riggs Jr., I still have the old Dodge truck. I drive it around every now and again. It is what it is. What's the next one here? Oh, yeah. All right, now, this next story, it's bad, but it's also good. Meaning that the woman involved in this did not get a pass like they normally do, except someone had to die for this to happen. All right, so death sentence upheld for Arizona woman charged with the murder of a 10-year-old left inside locked box. Child suffered repeated abuse from multiple family members. Yep. Here's the mom, and I think that's the father. I have no idea. Okay, so Samantha Allen's murder conviction and death sentence were upheld by Arizona Supreme Court this week. Allen was charged with murder and child abuse of her 10-year-old cousin, Emil Deal. A-M-E Deal, D-E-A-L. In 2011, the child was forced by Samantha Allen and her husband, John Allen, to spend the night in a small storage container, where she ultimately suffocated. The box was less than 3 feet long and less than 1 foot wide, and the couple stated that it was punished for stealing a popsicle. All right, in my opinion, these two should be shoved into a small box until they themselves expire from lack of oxygen. Because, this is just fucked up. All right, like the woman is attempting to appeal the death sentence, solely blaming her husband for the child's death. However, authorities stated this was not the first time the child had been forced into the box, and that she frequently suffered abuse at the hands of multiple relatives. Yeah. All right, so several other family members pleaded guilty to child abuse and were convicted in 2013. See, Amy's aunt, the legal guardian, Cynthia Stolmans, was sentenced to 24 years in prison. Good. Her father, David Deal, received 14 years, and her grandmother, Judith Deal, received 10 years. That's probably a death sentence for the grandmother. Let's see, Amy's mother previously fled the state after also suffering abuse from the family, leaving behind her young child. So during the investigation, they found out that the girl was forced to eat dog shit, smash aluminum soda cans with her bare feet, and had reportedly been chained up outside overnight by a dog collar, kicked in the face, and suffered beatings with a wooden paddle. And they moved from Utah, where authorities had records of the child's abuse that was taking place. All right. This is where we are, gentlemen. You ever wonder what a civilization crumbling looks like? Well, there it is. Right there. All right. So you had a whole fucking family. In-laws, grandparents, all of them doing this fucked up shit to these kids. That is how you make serial killers right there. All right? You abuse kids like that, they don't develop properly, and literally you wind up, 20 years later with them fucking murdering people, if not going after the people that abused them. Because quite frankly, you know, if some shit like that happened to me, I might not be too good about it. All right. Now, I have an uncle by marriage who's married to my mother's sister. I'm not going to say his name. He's a worthless piece of shit anyway. But when I was about 9 years old, you know, I got in trouble, was doing my own thing, and I don't know what they were thinking when they called this guy over to discipline me. But I remember, like, he's like getting ready to whip my ass, and I looked him right in the face and I said, "Go right ahead. Go right ahead. 9 years from now, I'm going to be 18, and I'm going to fucking kill you. So go ahead, whip away. And we'll just see what happens." Well, needless to say, I didn't get my ass kicked that day, and that never fucking happened again. Because you should not tolerate that shit, in my opinion. But hey, what do I know, you know? I'm just the old grunt. Okay, let's see what we got here. I've heard they put in litter boxes in schools for the kids to use them if they identify as a furry. That should not happen. Yep, they did not get a pussy pass. Yeah, Callum Z, I'm absolutely with you. That bitch should get locked up just like she did to that kid. Waterboarding. Yeah. Callum Z, how does a person even conceive of doing that to a child? I have no idea. Yeah, that's some evil ass shit. You're absolutely correct there, Tom Davies. Windows. The urge to open an orphanage grows within me. In the box and forget. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Growing up in a small town, if the authorities didn't take care of this, a local group of townspeople would tune the bad folks up, and damn if everybody wasn't at church when it happened. Yeah. Service gives you citizenship. Yep. Yeah, Pop was born with a fire in his soul. I was. I was. It was very intense. Even though I was a runt, you know, if when you push me too far, I mean, I remember as a young child, I'd come after you. It didn't matter if you were like 3 times my size. I'll get a mechanical advantage, or I'll set up on your ass and ambush you and catch you by surprise, which I have done quite a few times. See, they could use a woman's for. Yep. Fire in his soul, and when it's in his pole, gutter nail, bitch. Man, you guys are harsh, man. You're harsh, harsh. It's some harsh ass shit, man. All right, what's the next one here? Oh, here we go. This is from the WHO. This is health impact news right here. WHO. 99% of monkeypox cases are among men. 95% of men who have sex with men. Call for global censorship of monkeypox misinformation. Now they look a little itchy. There's some itchies. Yeah. And the virus actually only risks a very small portion of the world's population, men having sex with other men. Yep. And the WHO is recommending that bisexual men cut back on the number of sexual partners to reduce spread of monkeypox. After the WHO's monkeypox expert Rosamund Lewis noted that men who have sex with men are the group with the highest risk of infection right now. Right now. When you have like 1 million people walking around this country and they all have the monkeypox going on, hey, look, people are going to catch it because it's going to get on people's hands. They're going to talk to the people, leave it on doorknobs and buttons of elevators and what have you. So, let's see, around 99% of cases among men, while 90% of those are men who have sex with men, Lewis added. I mean, this is disgusting, man. Monkeypox is primarily spread through skin-to-skin contact during sex. Let's see. According to the WHO's Lewis, the virus will have an opportunity to continue spreading if people don't limit the number of sex partners and anonymous sexual contacts. All right, so I'm not gonna. Yeah, they're calling this the WHO is calling this a global emergency. Of course, there's a vaccine approved. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that. I don't know. I mean that's pretty disgusting, in my opinion. Let's see. I'm reading your comments, gentlemen. So stand by. Can you do a supporter video on the poke and smoke, the side effects of it, data on it, death? Yeah, I can. I'm gonna. We can put that together. It'll have to be an alt tech kind of thing. Let's see, K camera. Will we get an official notification when it's socially acceptable to pepper spray anyone who tries to walk up and touch you? Shake hands. Ooh, mnemonic. Eesh. That's crazy. All right. So, I was doing some thinking today in regards to this whole WNBA and the Olympic soccer team, female soccer team, and just how little these professional female athletes actually contribute to the sport. All right, now, what I mean is this. Do I look down on women who are athletes? Most certainly I do not. I appreciate what they do. Anyone striving for excellence is worthy of respect, in my opinion. But I draw the line at these professionals comparing themselves to the male teams. All right? Because, let's face it, the male teams pack the seats. The female teams do not. Now, I did a little search here. All right, this is the average attendance for women in the WNBA. And this is what I got here. This is NWSL, highest average attendance per game. I believe this is soccer. NWSL. Yeah. National Women's Soccer League attendance, Wikipedia. So right around 70, 73, 7,400 individuals, right? And I believe, let's look at the WNBA, the team by, okay. All right, so this is the average attendance here of the WNBA games in 2021. All right, now look at these numbers here. Indian Fever, 0. The Sparks, 1,100. They're on the low side. Now, this is in, California stan, where everyone should be supporting this strong independent craziness, right? Well, apparently not in Los Angeles. Atlanta, you got the Dallas Wings. They got 2,100. The highest one here is the Phoenix Mercury for 5,849. Okay. So we have these people doing all of this crazy shit, screaming for all of this money, and they're not putting people in seats. But yet, the NBA is coming off of their own cash to subsidize these women teams. Now, I personally, and this is the way maybe it's just me, this is how I look at it. All right, now I've gone to professional sports arenas before. I've gone to the Detroit Tigers a couple times when they were downtown. I went to a couple of Lions games. I went to a few of the Red Wings games. But, of all of the teams around here, the only one I would actually go see again is probably the Red Wings, the hockey team. All right. With that being said, though, we'll stick with that number 7,300 here. Now, here's another one I want to add on here. Let's see, I did a search here for what is the cost of, running a stadium by the day. All right. And I'm trying to figure out what they were charging here. Roughly upkeep, maintenance, electricity, heat, everything, for the actual stadium, about $500,000 a year. All right. So let's see if we can get a calculator up here running. Oh, look. A calculator. Let's move that over here. All right. So let's just say 7,400 asses and seats. And let's say charge $100 per seat. That's $740,000. You would think, yeah, that's pretty good money, right? That's almost $1 million per game. But you have to divide a portion of that up. I mean, it's fucking crazy. All right, so we're talking 750,000 per game, and let's say they have 15 games a season. It's $11 million. You're like, wow, that's good money. Yeah, if there was 5 people on that team, they would get $2,222,000 apiece. But there are expenses. All right, so let's just take. Hang on, let's get that back. Let's see, 7,400 times 100 times 15. 15 games a year. That's 11.1. Now, the electricity and just the bare maintenance, $500,000. So we'll take minus 500,000 out of that. All right, so now they're down to 10,600,000 if they sell 7,400 tickets every single game for 15 games. That's it. All right, now let's compare this to the same stadium, but now we'll put it like 80% capacity. So let's just say it has 60,000 seats. Minus 1 here. All right, 60,000 seats. All right, and we're going to multiply this times 0.85, 85%, 51,000 seats times 100. 5 million-ish. Yeah. $5,100,000 per game. Now, let's say they do 15 games. Wow. 76,500,000. You back out the 500,000 in maintenance and lights, fuel costs. $76 million. And from that, you pay all of the male players. You pay the staff. You pay all of the maintenance workers and what have you out of that. All right. So at best case scenario, these professional women, sports team are only pulling in 10% of what their male, the professional male counterparts are. That's huge. All right, and the fact that it just blows my mind that these women are incapable of paying attention to economics. All right? You get paid for what you produce. All right? Now, if what you produce is a game, and that game brings in 7,400 people a game to watch for 15 games, you make X amount of dollars. But when men show up and play the exact same game in the same fucking Coliseum, they fill the stands up to 85% capacity on a good year, a good season. That's 10 times the amount of money they're going to make. Now, I'm not even adding concessions in there. 7,400 people, they're going to eat a decent amount of concessions, but is it going to offset the costs of buying the concessions and then paying for the refrigeration and the cooking and the storage of these, licky and chewy, salty, sugary things you like to get? Or it could be alcohol you like to drink. All right? Because 51,000 people put away a lot more concessions than 7,400. And that is a whole other animal of profit above and beyond this. So what I'm trying to tell you is this. There is a huge disconnect out there between reality and dream world feelings, bizarro clown world that these women decide to live in. All right? And I'm going to be doing a video on this, and I'm going to break it down brutal just by the numbers. And I think it'll piss off a lot of people out there. And mainly because I'll be telling them the truth. And I don't care. Let's see what we got here. Hang on, I'm going to comments here. Let's see what we got. You guys keep bringing up the waterboarding. Okay. Okay, water, and again, more waterboarding. Soothie Chingos. That was funny. Door prizes from Pride Month. Yeah, yeah. You guys are savage, man. Savage. Yeah, Sean Hughes. Feminism equals economics. Feminist plus economics equals error. Truth. Let's see, Jono, just look up Atlanta Dream tickets. $40 to $43. Yep. Most women live in fantasy land till they hit the wall. And then they really hit the basically the alcohol a lot harder to basically hide from the after effects of the wall and lie to themselves, because that's always constructive. Yeah, lying to yourself is the best way to get things done. Yeah. Let's see. Tom Davis Pop, we have a good guide, and it's you. Well, thank you. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings here. I'm just telling you the deal. All right. And what's the next one? All right. I did the average. Asses in seats. That was soccer. All right. Talked about the cost for the stadium. And that $500,000 was, I believe that was the operating costs for, was it the New York, I want to say the Red Sox? It's one of the teams in New York. I was looking, and like, I understand the number, the maintenance, and the lights, and the heating and cooling. It's going to vary on regions. And I picked one in New York. So, down south, they won't have to heat as much, but they have to run the AC. Up north, they have to run heaters for the most part. So you can it can go either way, but 500,000 is a good ballpark figure to go with. I already showed you that one. All right. Now here is some more examples of the go woke, go broke horse shit that we're talking about here. All right. This is the stock price for Walt Disney. And you will see here, this is the 5-year moving average for Disney. And you'll see here, in 2017, they're roughly at $109 per share. And they did okay here in the beginning of the pandemic. Dropped down a lot here in the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. Went back up to their high, which is 197. And they're back down to 106 now. Now let's look at the max. 1982, Disney was worth $1.16. All right. In 1990, when did I? There it is. Hang on, let me get there. 90. Yeah, here we go. 96, 97. It was $22 a share. All right. And now look what happens after this. They start getting involved in the computer animation and opened up a whole new dynamic for them. And they they started eyeballing Marvel and what have you. Now, I should have bought in right here. I didn't. I was an idiot. I had a chance to buy in here at like 20 bucks a share. But hey, what are you going to do? And look at this here. Now we start getting into the Marvel MCU. And look at this. Boom, 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 boom. That's Walt Disney right there. All right, now they are hugely in debt to the tune of like somewhere in the neighborhood of 90 billion bucks. Their earnings, their debt to income ratio is terrible. Let me see if I can find it here. All right, I'll come back to it here. All right, here's another one that we need to keep an eye on. Procter and Gamble. All right, if you remember all the horse shit that went down with Gillette razors in 2017. Okay, first of all, Gillette became a juggernaut because of World War I, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. They pretty much had a monopoly for making shaving products for the United States military and its fighting men. And for them to turn around and then go after men in 2017, it was absolutely egregious. And I do not support piss and garbage to save my life. And here's their chart. All right. They are doing okay, and I don't like this. I would like to see them get hammered. All right, down here they were worth $2.64 in 1982. And piss and garbage. And now here they are at about 142, 150 bucks. That's another one I would like to see get their asses kicked. But hey, what do I know? Let's see what we got here. Let's see. It's Crusader 8. I still say we need to pop more supporters than the WFA attendance who say challenging. Yeah, I like to see that many people come in here. Tom Davis, hurt me, Pop. I need to be governed harder. Dude, come on. Let's see. Dirty Old Leg, off topic question. Any thoughts on the veteran exposure to burn pits and the recent failure of congressional efforts to address it? Well, I know I'm on the burn pit registry list. I do have lung damage. I'm coughing all the time. It'll probably kill me. So other than that, I really don't see much being done over that. It took how long? It took what? From 1973 roughly into the early 90s before the VA acknowledged Agent Orange and started treating a lot of the side effects and illnesses that it produced. Because up until that point, they pretty much told you to pound sand, fuck off. Yeah, that's not good. Well, Let's see, G-Ski. I don't buy Dawn or Cascade to wash my dishes anymore. Brand X works almost as good. Yep. Yep, we need to basically boycott or just quit using piss and garbage and Gillette. Boycott is, that's way, way in the past. Let's see, Crusader 8, Tom Davis. I am just one of the guys. I just happen to be in the right place at the right time. Yeah, that was a joke, Pop. Okay. Yeah, you guys are out of your goddamn minds. All right, here's another one. Now, this one is going to be good because this one, this next company is going to get a shellacking in the next 2 to 4 years. Netflix. This is the 5-year run for Netflix. In 2017, it was $180, and it got up to $682, and now it's down to 224. Let's look at the max here. All right. So in 2002, Netflix was worth $1. Oh, actually 64 cents. And for a long time, roughly to about 2010, when you started to see some play, and then from roughly 2013 until 2021. Yep. And now it's tanking. All right, now when it comes to Netflix, they've put out just a bunch of shit. You know, Cuties was one that really came to mind. You know, and then they have like this fucked up way of making a good series and then canceling it like 2 or 3 seasons in. And they can milk that thing for another 2 to 4 seasons and get their money out of it. All right. And then there was the whole Cowboy Bebop bullshit. I like the anime a lot better than the live action. It just seems that all of these woke movies, TV series, video series out there, where they have to put in a certain amount of gay people and a certain amount of trans people. Then you got to have all the people of color, and you got to add all of these people so they're all represented. And then the story suffers, and nobody wants to watch that shit because by the time that happens, a person with average intelligence realizes it's nothing but propaganda. They're not trying to tell a good story, and it's no surprise people are, voting with their feet and getting the fuck out of Dodge. And I can't blame them. Why would you actually pay good money to watch mediocre dribble? I'm sorry, I got better shit to do. I could read a book, I could do something else. Fuck Netflix. And some of the stuff that their board is kicking around is not going to do Netflix any justice. They're talking about putting in commercials. Yeah. I just can't see that actually working out for them. Yeah. The hell with them. Okay, and here is All right. This is a snippet I found in regards to frequently asked questions. It's eileensale.com. It's about more about Gillette. They're talking about why did people stop buying Gillette? Yeah, they're basically threw out their shit. And this was last updated 30 May 2022. All right, so people have not forgotten this bullshit Gillette pulled. All right, they released a controversial ad. People hated that. It drove me crazy. And the reason they fell, lack of research for the targeted demographic. Yeah, men don't need to be taught that shit. All right, boys will be boys. Fuck off. Let's see. Well, why was Gillette so successful? One of the secrets Gillette's success is that every decade or so it launches a new incremental product improvement. Slightly better, slightly more expensive, slightly more profitable. Okay, and then it just comes down the pecking order. And here are some of the competitors. There's Schick, Edgewell, Grooming Lounge, Harry's, 800 Razors, Razor War, Custom Shave, Shave Mob. Listen, I with the amount of competition that's coming out against Gillette, and as expensive as their stuff is, and on top of that horrible fucking commercial they did in 1718, Gillette can go fuck themselves. So can piss and garbage. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out. Here we go. Da-da. All right. The brand's valuation was $8.48 billion in 2020. And in 2021, it was valued at 7.55. So they lost $1 billion in value. Look at this. Ooh. Yeah, and they made 6.2 billion in men's razors and blades, and 1.28 in women's razors and blades worldwide. And Gillette sued Harry. Yeah. I don't know what happened with that. I don't care. I talked about the advertising, the face of Gillette. Like, quite frankly, after this ad hit, they had to write off billions of dollars in value. And I believe the CEO at the time said it was worth it. So let's make it worth it to him and never buy now one more stinking fucking product from Gillette and piss and garbage. Fuck them. It's coming around, gentlemen. It's coming around. Here's the this one's from 2019. This is another article from Barron's. And this is the scene from that Gillette commercial. Actually, it was 2015 Super Bowl. Ooh. Whew. Yeah, because of its toxic masculine misfire on Tuesday, Procter and Gamble beat earnings revenue forecast, but the stock fell 3% by the day the S&P 500 closed at a new high. Not a fan. Not a fan. Let's see what we got here in comments. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. It's also easier to think, easier, I think, to walk from entertainment versus consumer products people need. It requires work to look at who makes something and make informed purchases. Absolutely correct. Oh, John O. Haven't been to a movie since 2014. Well, that's a good long run right there. It's like almost a decade. Riggs Jr., but I'd rather be out of my mind with Pop than be an NBC normie. Me too. Those guys are boring. See, Tom Davis, it's funny, I really don't care about my current job. I know that when I am gone, they will have a serious problem, and it makes me warm inside. Tell if you know what the D6 544446 is. No, I don't know what that is. I'd rather watch an old grunt dribble over his booze. Dribble over his booze. All right. Our Jekyll Hunter. Hey, Pop, the top. I met an Iraq vet that was shot 13 times by a suicidal child. Ooh. Also, I got farted on while on Rhino's stream a few nights ago. My room still smells. Okay, well, you know, what are you going to do? It is what it is. But, yeah, there was in Iraq, there was a lot of problems during the both Fallujah fights, and then there were some skirmishes in Ramadi, and then in the suburbs around Baghdad. But what they would do is they would show up, they'd have their weapons, and they would start shooting at U.S. forces. And if one guy got hit or went down, they would have a kid come in and grab the person's who is wounded or dead, grab their weapons or RPGs, and hand them off to other people or just waiting to continue the fight. And there were some guys who had to shoot kids, and it really fucked with them hard. And it sucked. But that's fucking war, man. It is what it is. So even Harry's went broke, did they? I didn't even know they went out of business. G-Ski uses the Microtech switchblade to shave. Okay. Calabi Z, I learned a long time ago that women's razors are subpar. Used men's razors ever since. Yeah, Gillette wrote down $8 billion in stock price because of that commercial. Yes, they did. And then they said it was worth it. Yeah, fuck them. Okay. Yeah, they wrote down 8 billion. John O. Boeing machinist for 30 years. Ooh. Record 74. Sorry I'm late, gents. Well, at least you made it. All right. A traveling machinist job. I do all the grind, EDM, and CNC. Yeah. Well, the whole thing with the CNC and the machinists out there getting paid shit is because there's not much work here. If we can shut down all of the jobs being sent to like Mexico, Canada, and over to China, though, you would see a lot more of that money returned. Ah, the D6444446 is the same as the repair publications. Okay. Oh, Harry's went woke and went broke? Well, good for them. I'd rather a M34 Willie P grenade. Yeah. Tom Davis Pop is absolutely correct. Thank you. All right, Cowboy 4572. My high school science teacher was a Vietnam vet. He used to tell us stories about white phosphorus. That shit is fucking dangerous, man. And I was a private first class, and I got voluntold on a weekend. I had to go out and help set up some silhouettes on the impact range, because the following Monday we're going to be shooting TOW missiles and Dragon missiles. And we had to put up these silhouettes of BMPs and tanks and what have you. It took like 2 or 3 hours. It wasn't a big deal. But during that time, I don't know who cleared what with who, but I remember holding on to this silhouette of a BMP, and one of the other soldiers was hammering a brace onto it so it would stay up. And we started taking 155 rounds relatively close, to the point where we heard the shrapnel whipping over our heads. All right. There was like 5 or 6 of them, like boom, boom, boom. And you could tell when they're close, really close, because it like knocks the wind out of you. Well, we were running away like any normal person would. And one of the target rounds they fired came up short. And it was a Willie P round. And it detonated, I don't know, 100 meters away or so, maybe a little closer. And you can see all the bits of the white phosphorus as it flies out and leaves this white smoke behind. All right, what I was not told about, and I got a little piece of that white phosphorus in the white of my eye. And it just, boom, started burning. Instinctively, I reached down, grabbed my canteen, flush that shit out of my fucking eye almost immediately. And then, they put a bandage on my eye, right to Madigan I went. And I was on quarters for 3 days, had to wear an eye patch for a week and a half. And the doctor's like, you're fucking so lucky you were able to get that out of your eye first time. Because if I'd waited a few more seconds, the shit would burn into the eye, and then you have to have it surgically taken out. And by the time that takes place, I'd be blind. You couldn't save the eye. So fortunate for me, I was fast enough, and I instinctively just washed it out immediately. But white phosphorus is no joke. That shit will fuck you up. And I got like just a tiny, tiny bit that could fit on the end of a pin. That's it. You can imagine people who have like patches this big on their body burning. It just burns and burns. The only way you can turn it off is you have to put Vaseline on it and keep the oxygen off of it. That shit is fucked up. Let's see, we go. All right, we high school. Yeah, there's a lot of science teachers who were in Vietnam. I think in my high school, one of our science teachers was drafted during Vietnam, and he had some really good stories as well. Let's see, a drill leg. Yes, it sticks out of their ass like a furry shit out of a kid's bike handlebar. Yep. Okay, Wrecker 74. Finding a cheap apartment is impossible right now, too, and especially when there are very few good paying jobs near where I'm at. Can't find one under 1,000, and that's not low income. Yep, that is not good. Okay. All right, hang on. I'm reading your comments. Relax. Worked with white phosphorus in University O Chem Lab. Fun. Yep. What about thermite or magnesium jelly incinerators? Yeah, I fucked around with a lot of thermite and other incendiary chemicals. I went to improvised explosives training and learned how to do thermite, where to find the rust, how to mix it up and everything. And it's not as effective as you think it would be. I mean, it's more effective against armored vehicles that are like, an aluminum steel kind of mix, like a 113. Because once you catch the aluminum on fire, it's almost impossible to put out. But if it's all steel, thermite has a hard time burning through that. Especially the homemade stuff. Let's see, what are some... Oh, yeah, this one's actually pretty good. I used thermite on an old M60 tank that was on the impact area in Fort Lewis, and we were able to burn through the top of the tank into the actual... through the top of the turret into the compartment below. But that took a long time, and we actually... I think we set off 2 improvised thermite charges on top of it, and then finally we had to throw a thermite grenade in the pit, the divot that they had melted already before it was able to get through. So, yeah, thermite might be better if you use it directly on engine parts and sensitive equipment other than trying to burn through the steel armor. Okay. Tom Davies, Jackal Hunter. Let's add in the thermite. Yep. Let's see. Crusader, my history teacher, Mr. Goldman, relocated to Germany when he was a kid, and even showed us the number tattooed on him when he was there. Yeah. I grew up in Oak Park, Michigan, between 8 and 9 Mile, right off of Coolidge. And from the age of 5 to roughly 11, that neighborhood was full of Holocaust survivors. I saw hundreds and hundreds of Holocaust tattoos on these Jewish people. A lot of them had like shrines in their homes to all of their relatives that died during the whole World War II Germany process. It was really heartbreaking. And quite frankly, when I hear people sit there and tell me or try to tell me that the Holocaust never happened, well, I talked to hundreds of people who say it did. I saw the physical evidence in that regard. All right, it's not a pretty thing, but hey, it is what it is. Now, on the flip side, yes, 6 million plus individuals who were Jewish were killed. But there were 6 million plus individuals who were not Jewish who were also killed in those camps. And by whatever reasons, the Nazis decided to do their business. We don't hear shit about them. We just hear about the Jewish people. Got it. I understand. But let's be fair here. Moving forward, we should probably mention the Catholics and the Roma and other undesirables that the Nazi war machine ground into dust. Let's see, Poppy, have you ever read the book series Pirates by James Wesley Rowles? The guy who started Survival Blog? No, I have not. Okay, Jackal Hunter, I want to manufacture 20 gauge shells filled with shredded steel and napalm, like Dragon's Breath, but with shrapnel for anti-personnel. All right, well, you're going to have a hard time with that one. All right, Jackal Hunter, if you want to make shotgun shells that have shrapnel in there, you're better off buying flechettes, which are the little fucking darts. They work just fine. And then you find out the actual mixture for the Dragon's Breath rounds. I forget, I got it written down somewhere. You mix that up, you put it in with the flechettes. When you fire it, you'll get the added effect of the flechettes hitting your target first, and then a fraction of a second behind that, they'll get hit with the magnesium and tungsten mix. I think that's what it is that sets it on fire. It's pretty devastating. But napalm, it's not going to stay into a shotgun shell very well. If you don't use it immediately, it separates. You'll have gasoline leaking out of it, or oil, or whatever. It's just not going to work. You need to use all dry components. That's why you need the mixture for the Dragon Breath 12 gauge shotgun rounds. How do I even know all this shit, man? I don't know. Let's see, Tom Davis. I was experienced with scuttle charges, and that is what they use to destroy the sensitive materials. Yes, you are correct. I had a camo pack on in South America, and we got compromised. And I was just a guy carrying the radio. They called it dead body because it had like all kinds of camo gear on it. But it was also rigged with thermite to scuttle the sensitive equipment. I didn't even know that. I remember they told me to take it off. I did. The actual radio guy came up, opened up the top flap, basically pulled 2 plungers, told us to get back, and I watched from about 30 meters away as $250,000 of camo equipment melted away. That does happen. Yep. And we even set up scuttling charges in our vehicles in Iraq. So if we had to abandon a vehicle, which we never did, But if we did have to abandon a vehicle, quite literally, we'd kick over all of the diesel and pull the thermite grenades, one in the front, one in the back, and just burn the vehicle to the fucking ground. Because if you leave it, you come back for it, chances are it's rigged to explode anyway. Let's see what we got here. Collision Chinese fighter because they were not they were hot dogging. The brutal lesson. Nope, not that vinegar shot from Vietnam. Okay. Encased mercury metal shotgun slugs. Nah, it's not going to do anything for you. Jackal Hunter, how do you know anything? I don't know. Let's see. You can make adjustments. Use 1 ounce of explosive slugs. Okay. Let's see. Cowboy 4570. Love me some Sunday supporter stream. Starts off with monkeypox and goes to thermite. Yep. What are you going to do? I mean, I can never turn it off, man. It's Green Beret stuff. Let's see, one of the bullet manufacturers used to make a bullet called a varmint grenade that shattered on impact. Well, I know a lot of the .17 hypervelocity critter rounds do the same thing. I have a buddy of mine who has one, and he shoots a lot of chipmunks and squirrels, and quite literally they just disintegrate when they're hit. Or maybe a micronuclear warhead slugs. You could probably make one out of uranium-235, and it probably will go critical if it hits something, and that would be absolutely devastating. But I don't want to carry that around in my pocket. This is radiation and shit. It'll kill you, man. Edmund 209, we should have rigged the equipment we left in Afghanistan. Yep. It's exactly what we should have. We should have scuttled every vehicle. Pop, in a real shooting war, should you assume all enemy equipment is booby-trapped? Yes. Yes, you should. But there are ways you can deal with that. Some of the ways we were taught is you carry yourself a bunch of 550 cord and a small little grappling hook. If there's something you think is booby-trapped and you need it, you hit it with the grappling hook, get behind cover, pull it, see if it's going to go off. Yeah, just carry them in a lead-lined case. Yeah, right. Listen, Murphy shows up when least expected, and all of the fancy new whiz-bang stuff that you think is going to protect you won't. And because Murphy's going to fuck it up for you. Let's see. All of that equipment and those charges. Yep. 550 cord is awesome. Yep. All right. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right, this next one here, we're talking about the, this is basically the Disney debt to income ratio from 2010 to 2022. All right, now when you come down here and you look at this, you can see like 12 billion in debt here in the beginning in 09. And they've maintained, you know, pretty much the same level of debt until right around here. Oh, wow, look at this. They decided they wanted to go woke. This is when Disney decided to purchase a lot of that horse shit that they're making their propaganda out of right now. They paid for it with massive amounts of debt. All right? Not good. That is a lot of debt to have. And here's the graph right here. It's 09, ratio 0.31. Ratio 0.6. So, yeah, Disney is pulling a lot of fucking debt. And a lot of that debt they used to purchase Star Wars, to secure rights for a lot of the Marvel universe characters, what have you. And they are turning around and shitting the bed and wiping their ass with the sheets on their way out. Because most of the stuff Disney is putting out, they are not making profit. And a lot of them, they're not even breaking even. Disney is going to implode here, especially when we hit the recession or depression and people stop going to Disneyland. And then we have we have the awakening of the right, which will take place. They are going to ban their families and loved ones from going to Disneyland. And quite literally, most of the average Americans out there who have kids don't let their kids watch most of the Disney stuff now because it's all grooming. I don't know about you, but, I'm a father. And there's no fucking way I would willingly stand by and let somebody groom my kids into some fucked up shit like that. I'll rip you a new asshole. All right. Let's see where we are here in the comments. We're 1 hour and 46 minutes in. All right, let me take a quick piss break, and I'll be back in a few, and we'll wrap this up. All right, sorry about that. I've been going for almost an hour and 40 minutes. I had to piss. All right, so the last but not least of the Well, I don't even know if this is the last one, but it's near the end of the Go Woke and Go Broke. And this is from July 31st, 2022. This is from today. Boom! From the newsroom. Newspageindex.com. Zuckerberg expected to announce mass layoffs after one of the worst downturns. Now he's blaming this under he's blaming the horrible financial conditions under Biden admin. He's laying the groundwork for mass layoffs. Managers who are unable to get on track could lose their jobs as part of the cuts. Zuckerberg is expected to identify employee performance as the reasoning behind the layoffs. And critics have accused Facebook of going woke by using left-wing fact-checkers to censor conservative voices on the platform. Yeah, during a weekly employee meeting, Zuckerberg said, "If I had to bet, I would say that this might be one of the worst downturns that we have seen in recent history. Yes, and it's going to get worse." Now, realistically, there are probably a bunch of people at the company who shouldn't be there Zuckerberg's stead. Do you fucking think? Like, I have friends of mine getting banned off Facebook for 2 weeks, 30 days for quoting other news articles. So somebody copies a link from another news article into Facebook, and then they get their account suspended for a month. Who's going to fucking put up with that? I mean, I have Facebook, but I use it just to push my videos. That's about it. I've deleted all of my lefty titty-sucking friends out of there. Fuck them. I'm sorry if any of you are watching this show. You had to go. Sorry. Because at the end of the day, everyone is the sum of the 6 closest people they have close to them. And quite frankly, I don't want to keep mediocre people around me anymore. It is time to do dynamic stuff, and that requires dynamic people. And those leftoids who have no idea how the world works and want to judge everything on feelings, they can fuck off. And it's starting to reflect here, because a lot of people are going to other platforms, and they're leaving Facebook behind. And I don't blame them. Okay, here we go. Part of my hope by raising expectations and having more aggressive goals and just kind of turning up the heat a little is that I think some of you might decide that this place isn't for you. And that self-selection is okay with me, he added. Of course it is. It's always easier when you run people out who are shitty and it's their idea and you just let them go. Great. Got it. Look at this. Other positions are also left vacant. That is not good. See, Meta rebrand was supposed to be a glorious expansion of Facebook, taking it beyond being just a social media platform, and it imploded. They're beginning their next chapter, which is you better hope that the pendulum doesn't go to the right too fast, because Zuckerberg, you're going to get shut down. There was a backlash against the actual limited performance of the metaverse as compared to the hype. Meta is a beta, observed Arizona State Senator Wendy Rogers. All right, so yes, we're about to see shit start heating up here. And I can't fucking wait! I want to see these people get fucked up. Let's see if we have another one. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. And this one, this is State Farm. Get woke, go broke. State Farm executives makes panic promise as trans support blows up in company's face. Again, got State Farm. We've got a bunch of insurance companies out there doing this woke horse shit. Fuck them. Stop doing business with them. Let them fucking die on the vine. Why are we rewarding these people with our money? Here we go. Let's see if we can watch this one.
State Farm tells us they're a good neighbor. But would a good neighbor target 5-year-olds for conversations about sexual identity? That's what State Farm's doing. Asking employees to donate guides to being transgender to public schools. Books aimed at making kindergartners question their identity. It's textbook indoctrination. These books don't belong in elementary schools, and State Farm shouldn't be putting them there. Like a creepy neighbor, State Farm is there.
We need to do this to every single company out there that is pushing this fucking craziness. All right, this whole feminism, that's just repurposed communism. Black Lives Matter, repurposed communism. Antifa are the useful idiots. This is some dangerous shit we have going on here. All right, now moving forward, when this thing heats up and when it comes to an end, we need to make sure it never happens again. Because this is some horse shit right here. It's got me most upset. All right, so we're coming up on 2 hours here, so a few more minutes I'm going to cut out. Let's see, Disney made Obi-Wan Kenobi buy. Yep, and I will not be watching them. Okay, let's see, Jack Launcher. Okay, is the paracord from Amazon trustworthy? Well, if you're going to get a 550 cord that's a bunch of wazoo colors, probably not. If you're going to use actual parachute 550 cord, yes. Because some of the stuff out there, they say it's 550 cord, and it's not. Kid Camera, George Lucas was smart to take half of the payment for Star Wars in cash. Yes. Let's see. The story of Disney meth and dicks is always meth and dicks. Yeah, it is. Let's see. Edmund 209. Today I'm trying my hand at making chicken broth in the crock pot. Listen, you can do a lot of cool cooking in a crock pot. You could even make lasagna. It's fucking good. Yeah. Is it okay for me to laugh at Zuck for his loss? Yes. Yes. Let's see. Maybe Zuck should reach into his own pockets. Yep. All right. Let's see. Looks better than this. Metaverse. VR chat looks better than this. Metaverse. Yeah, okay. All right. Is there anything else you guys have to say? Because I'm cutting off here. We're at just under 2 hours. Let's see. Yeah, State Farm will cancel you as soon as you make a large claim. Yeah, that's actually par for the course of insurance companies. They try to underpay you, don't pay you at all, and you have to take them to court. All right, gentlemen, thank you for your time, and I will talk to you later.